My name is Emma, and this is the story of the day my heart broke in a way I never expected. It wasn't because of a person. It wasn't because of a fight. It wasn't because of a mistake. It was because of my dog, my best friend, my little shadow who followed me everywhere. His name was Milo. Milo wasn't just a pet. He was comfort. He was peace. He was home. Whenever I opened the door after school or work, he ran to me with the happiest little jumps. His tail wagged so fast that sometimes it looked like it might fly off. He slept near my bed every night. He understood me even when no one else did. He was small, fluffy, and full of love. And he was mine. But one normal afternoon, everything changed. I remember that day clearly. It was warm and sunny. I came home smiling, excited to see Milo, thinking about hugging him and taking him out for a walk. I opened the door and said happily, "Milo, I'm home." Usually he would run to me immediately. His nails would tap 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 on the floor as he ran. But that day the house was silent. I frowned and called again. "Milo." Nothing. I walked through the living room, expecting him to jump from behind the sofa like he sometimes did. But he wasn't there. I checked the kitchen. Not there. The backyard. Empty. My room. Empty. My heartbeat started getting faster. Something felt wrong. I walked to my mom, who was sitting on the couch scrolling through her phone. "Mom, where's Milo?" I asked, trying to stay calm. She didn't even look up at first. She just said casually, "Oh, Milo, we sold it." I froze. "What?" I whispered. She finally looked up at me and repeated, "We sold it." It felt like someone hit my chest. My ears started ringing. My hands began shaking. "You sold my dog?" I said in disbelief. She shrugged like it was nothing. "Yes. Your sister's kids wanted a dog. And Milo was friendly, so we thought." I didn't let her finish. "Mom, he was my dog." I cried, my voice breaking. She sighed, annoyed. "Emma, don't make a big scene. Kids get attached easily. Your sister needed something to keep them busy." I felt tears rising in my eyes. "So you just gave away Milo? Without asking me?" My voice was small, broken, and shaking. Mom didn't understand the pain in my words. She didn't understand what Milo meant to me. "He'll be fine," she said. "It's just a dog. Just a dog." Those words cut deeper than anything. Milo wasn't just a dog. He was my safe place. My support. My only friend during hard days. My happiness. I ran to the backyard again, hoping maybe she was wrong. Maybe Milo was hiding somewhere. Maybe this was a misunderstanding. But the truth was clear. His toys were gone. His food bowl was gone. His bed was gone. Everything was gone. My chest felt tight. My eyes burned. My heart felt like it was falling apart in slow motion. I went back inside and whispered, "Where is he? Where did he go?" My mom simply said, "With your sister. She'll bring him next month if he doesn't work out." Next month? If he doesn't work out? He was not an object. He was not something to test on kids. He was a living soul who loved me more than anyone else. Tears finally fell from my eyes. I whispered again, "How could you do this to me?" My mom rolled her eyes. "You're overreacting." But I wasn't. I had just lost the one being who never hurt me. And the betrayal came from my own home. That day I didn't just lose Milo. I lost trust. I lost safety. And something inside me broke in a very quiet, painful way. I went to my room and closed the door quietly. As soon as the door clicked, my legs felt weak, and I sat on the floor. The house felt too quiet. Too empty. Too wrong. I whispered Milo's name again, hoping somehow he would bark back. Hoping this was all a mistake. But the silence was louder than my voice. I picked up the small blanket he used to sleep on. It was still there in the corner of my room. I held it close to my chest, and the smell of Milo, warm, soft, familiar, hit me all at once. That's when I finally broke. The tears came fast. My whole body shook. It felt like the world inside me had cracked open. I hugged the blanket tightly and whispered, "I'm sorry, Milo. I wasn't here to protect you." He trusted me. He waited for me every day. And I wasn't there when he needed me most. For the next hour I cried quietly, not wanting anyone to hear. Because no one in this house understood my pain. Not my mom. Not my sister. No one. They saw him as a toy. I saw him as family. After some time, I wiped my tears and stood up. I walked around my room slowly, touching the places where Milo used to sleep. The corner near my study table, the soft rug near my window, the small space under my bed where he liked to hide during storms. Everything reminded me of him. Every corner of the room hurt. I sat on my bed and tried to calm myself. But the questions kept coming. Why didn't they tell me? Why didn't they ask me? Why didn't they wait? Why didn't they care? I wasn't angry at Milo being somewhere else. I was angry at how they did it. Behind my back. Without my voice. Without my feelings. A soft knock came on my door. It was my little cousin, my sister's older child. She held Milo's old ball in her hand. She said softly, "Emma, Mommy said we can keep Milo now." Her words cut deep. They didn't take Milo because they loved him. They took him because he was entertainment. I forced a small breath and asked, "Do you like him?" She nodded. "He's fun. But he cries a lot. He keeps looking at the door like he wants to go home." My heart clenched. Of course he did. He was waiting for me. He didn't know where I was. He didn't understand why I didn't come for him. I took the ball from her and held it in my hand. "Thank you," I whispered. She left the room, not realizing the storm inside me. I stared at the ball scratched old loved. Milo's favorite toy. He used to bring it to me every morning and drop it near my feet asking me to play. Sometimes he would push it gently with his nose when I didn't respond fast enough. I held the ball close and whispered, "Milo, I'll find you. I promise." Because something inside me had changed. I wasn't going to sit and cry anymore. I needed to know where he was. I needed to see him. I needed to make sure he was okay. But I didn't want to fight with my family. I didn't want screaming or anger. I just wanted the truth. So I walked out of my room with the ball in my hand and went to my mom. She looked at me and sighed. "Emma, don't start again." I didn't shout. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I simply said, "Mom, tell me where Milo is. I want to see him." She frowned. "Emma, I told you. He's with your sister. Don't make this a big deal." I kept my voice calm. "It is a big deal. He's mine. And I need to know where he is." She rolled her eyes. "He's fine. Now drop it." But I wasn't dropping it. Not this time. I walked away from her, holding Milo's ball tightly. Because in that moment, I made a quiet promise to myself. I will get my dog back. No matter what they say. No matter what I have to do. The next morning I woke up early. My eyes were still swollen from crying, but my mind felt clearer. I knew one thing. I had to see Milo. I didn't want to fight. I didn't want to shout. I just needed to know he was safe. My sister lived across town. It was a 25-minute bus ride. I didn't tell my mom. I didn't want another argument. I simply got dressed, picked up Milo's ball and left. The air outside felt cold, even though it was sunny. My heart felt heavier with every step I took. On the bus, I kept the ball in my hand. I pressed it softly, remembering how Milo used to chase it around the house. The sound of his little feet hitting the floor. His happy barks echoing in the rooms. People on the bus talked, laughed, and scrolled through their phones. But I heard nothing. My thoughts were too loud. What if he missed me? What if he was confused? What if he thought I abandoned him? The idea broke me again. When I reached my sister's house, my hands were shaking. I stood at the door for a few seconds before ringing the bell. My sister opened the door, surprised. "Emma? What are you doing here?" I tried to smile, but it didn't reach my eyes. I came to see Milo." Her expression changed. Guilt. Or maybe worry. "Oh," she said softly. "Mom didn't tell you?" My stomach tightened. "Tell me what?" I whispered. She stepped aside and let me in. The house was loud, cartoons playing, toys everywhere. Kids running in circles. But I didn't care about any of that. My eyes searched for Milo. Called softly. "Milo." Nothing. My sister touched my arm gently. "Emma, he's here. But he's been very sad." My heart broke again. I walked toward the living room and then I saw him. Milo. My small fluffy boy. Sitting in a corner, his head down, looking lost. He wasn't playing. He wasn't barking. He wasn't moving. He looked heartbroken. I took a shaky breath and whispered, Milo. His ears twitched. Then he slowly lifted his head. The moment he saw me, everything changed. His eyes widened. His tail moved. His whole body shook with excitement. He ran to me so fast that he slipped on the floor. He jumped into my arms, whining, crying, licking my face like he was saying, "Where were you? I missed you. Don't leave me again." I held him tightly, burying my face in his fur. "I'm here, baby. I'm here." Tears fell down my cheeks, but this time they were not only sad, they were full of relief. Milo remembered me. Milo needed me. Milo still loved me. My sister watched quietly, and her expression softened. "He hasn't been eating well," she said softly. "He cries at the door a lot." I nodded, still holding him close. Of course he did. He didn't understand why he was taken away. After a long moment, I looked at my sister. "Why did you take him?" My voice cracked. She sighed. "The kids kept begging for a dog. Mom said you were busy and you wouldn't mind." I shook my head slowly. "I wasn't busy. And even if I was, you should have asked me." She nodded, looking guilty. "I know. I'm sorry, Emma." Milo stayed pressed against me, as if afraid to let go. I looked around and saw his new food dish barely touched. A new bed unused. New toys ignored. He didn't want any of this. He wanted home. My sister said softly, "If you want, you can take him back." My breath caught, but then she added, "Mom won't like it." I closed my eyes. My heart knew the answer. I couldn't leave Milo here. Not for one more night. Not for one more hour. I took a deep breath, looked at Milo and whispered, "I'm taking you home." My sister nodded quietly. "I understand." But I knew. The real battle was waiting at home. My mother wouldn't accept this easily. And I had no idea what was going to happen when I walked through that door with Milo in my arms. I held Milo in my arms as I left my sister's house. His small body was shaking, but when I kissed his head, he pressed closer to me, as if he was afraid I might disappear again. "It's okay," I whispered. "I'm taking you home. I promise." The bus ride back felt long and heavy. Milo sat in my lap quietly, his head resting against my hand. He didn't bark, he didn't move much, he just stayed close like he was scared I would let go. I kept my hand on his back the whole time. I needed the comfort as much as he did. When we reached my street, my heart started beating faster. This was the part one was afraid of. My mom. Her reaction. Her anger. I took a deep breath and walked slowly toward the house. Milo followed every step, his tail low, his ears down. He was nervous too. As soon as I opened the front door, my mom called from the kitchen. "Emma? Where did you go?" She walked out and froze. Her eyes widened when she saw Milo. "What is that doing here?" she said sharply. I held Milo close. "He's my dog," I said softly but firmly. "I brought him back." Her face tightened. "Emma, I told you. Your sister's kids need him." I felt Milo flinch at her loud voice. I took a small step back. "Mom," I whispered. "They didn't need him. They have toys, games, everything. Milo needed me. And I needed him." She crossed her arms. "You're acting childish. It's just a dog." There it was again. Those painful words. "He's not just a dog," I said, my voice shaking. "He's family." Mom scoffed. "Family? You're being dramatic." "He'll go back tomorrow." My heart dropped. "No," I said quietly. "I'm not letting him go again." Her eyes narrowed. "Don't talk to me like that, Emma. I made the decision. It's final." Milo pressed closer to me, sensing the tension. I held him tighter. "You made a decision about my dog," I said. "Without me. Without asking me. Without caring how I would feel." She rolled her eyes. "You're too emotional. You need to grow up." For a moment I wanted to shout. I wanted to scream everything I had held inside. But I didn't. I took a slow breath and said, "Growing up doesn't mean letting people hurt you." Mom's eyes widened, surprised by my calmness. I continued softly, "Milo is safe with me. He is happy with me. He belongs with me. And I'm not giving him up." She opened her mouth to argue, but I added, "If you love me, even a little, let me keep the one thing that truly loves me back." The room became quiet. For a long moment she didn't speak. Her expression changed from anger to confusion to something softer, almost guilty. Finally she sighed. Emma, I didn't think it mattered this much to you. I felt tears rise in my eyes. It matters, I whispered. He's all I have. Her shoulders relaxed slightly. She looked at Milo, then at me, and finally said, Fine. Keep him. But don't expect your sister to be happy about it. I nodded, feeling relief wash over me. I don't care about that, I said quietly. I care about him. Mom didn't reply. She just turned away and walked back to the kitchen. I sat on the floor shaking, not from fear, but from the emotional weight of everything. Milo licked my hand gently, as if he was telling me, You did it. You saved me. I hugged him tightly, burying my face in his fur. We're together now, I whispered. No one will take you from me again. But even though the fight with my mom was over, the pain inside my heart wasn't, because something had changed forever. A part of me no longer felt safe in this house, and I didn't know what the next days would bring. After the argument with my mom, things inside the house became strange. Not loud, not violent, just cold. She didn't talk to me much. She didn't look at Milo. She walked past us like we didn't exist. And it hurt, because I had never felt like a stranger in my own home before. But at the same time, every time I looked at Milo sleeping peacefully beside me, I knew I had done the right thing. For the first time in days, I slept calmly. Milo curled against my legs like he used to, soft and warm. His breathing was slow and gentle, and it felt like a piece of my broken heart finally started healing. The next morning, I woke up before the alarm and found Milo staring at me with big, shiny eyes. As soon as he saw I was awake, he jumped happily and licked my face. I laughed, a real laugh, something I hadn't done in days. Good morning, I whispered to him. He barked softly, wagging his tail. Felt like home again. Not the house, but this moment, this connection. I took him for a walk outside. The air was fresh. Birds sang softly. Milo walked close to my leg, as if he feared losing me again. Every few seconds he looked up at me, checking if I was still there. I'm here, I told him. I won't leave. As we walked back home, I realized something important. I wasn't angry anymore. I was just tired. Tired of being unheard. Tired of being treated like my feelings didn't matter. Tired of living in a house where love felt conditional. When we returned, my mom was in the kitchen. She glanced at Milo and then at me. I waited for her to say something, anything. She didn't. Instead, she turned away. The pain hit me again. Not because of Milo, but because of the distance growing between me and my own mother. I took a deep breath and said quietly, Mom, can we talk? She didn't answer at first. Then she sighed and turned to me. What now, Emma? She said, tired. I kept my voice soft. Mom, I know you think I acted childish, but Milo means something to me that you don't understand. She crossed her arms. He's just a dog. Please don't say that again, I whispered. She paused, maybe realizing how much those words hurt me. Continued. Milo is the one thing in my life that makes me feel loved. I don't have many friends. I don't go out much. I don't ask for anything. But he gives me comfort. And when you gave him away without asking me, it felt like you took away the only light I had. For the first time, my mom's expression softened. A little. Not much. But enough. I didn't know, she said quietly. I nodded. I know you didn't. But that's why it hurt. She looked at Milo, then at me. I just wanted to help your sister. She's tired with the kids. I understand, I said. But they have you. They have her husband. They have each other. Milo had only me. Those words made something click in her mind. She looked down. I didn't think of it that way. I sat on the chair, Milo sitting between my feet. She said softly, I won't take him away again. Relief washed over me. Thank you, I whispered. But even with her apology, something felt different now. A quiet voice inside me said, what else could they take from you without asking? What else could be decided for you? How long can you stay in a place where your heart isn't safe? I didn't share these thoughts with her. Not yet. But deep inside, a new feeling began to grow. A feeling stronger than the pain. A desire for independence. For the first time, I wondered, What if I should build a life where no one has the power to take something I love? Milo rested his head on my foot, and in that moment I understood something clearly. This wasn't just about getting Milo back. It was about getting myself back too. So, I would have to make a choice. A choice that could change everything. Days passed and life slowly returned to something that looked normal, but it wasn't the same. Not for me. Not inside. On the outside things were calm. My mom didn't argue anymore. My sister apologized again and even sent some treats for Milo. The house wasn't loud with fights or anger. But quiet doesn't always mean peace. Sometimes the quiet hurts more. Every time I looked at Milo, sleeping safely beside me, I felt two things: love and fear. Love because he was here. Fear because now I understood something I didn't understand before. How quickly something precious can be taken away. How easily someone can make decisions for you when you don't have a voice. How silently your heart can break in a place that's supposed to protect it. One evening I sat on the floor with Milo resting in my lap. The sun was setting outside my window, filling the room with a soft golden light. I stroked his fur slowly as he breathed calmly. He felt safe. I wished I felt the same. That's when a simple, quiet thought entered my mind. A thought that scared me and comforted me at the same time. Maybe it's time to live my own life. Not out of anger. Not out of revenge. Not out of some big emotional explosion. Just because I deserve to feel safe. Because I deserved a place where my feelings mattered. Because Milo deserved a home where no one could take him away again. The next morning I made a small decision. A gentle, steady decision. I started looking for part-time jobs. I searched for small apartments or shared rooms near work and school. I checked bus routes, prices, schedules. Nothing was perfect. Nothing was easy. But every step made me feel a little stronger. I didn't tell my mom yet. I didn't want another fight. I needed time and a plan. A week later I finally found something. A small, simple room in a shared house. Clean. Quiet. A friendly landlord who didn't mind pets. When I visited the place, I imagined Milo running around the room, sleeping beside me, sitting at the window waiting for me to come home. Felt right. Felt like home. I took a deep breath and said softly, "I'll take it." That night I sat with my mom in the living room. She noticed my nervousness. "What's wrong?" she asked. I swallowed hard. "Mom, I found a place to live." She froze. "What?" I kept my voice calm. "I'm moving out. Not because I'm angry, but because I need a space where I can grow. And where the things I love are safe." Her eyes softened, surprised, maybe even a little sad. "You're leaving because of the dog?" she asked quietly. I shook my head. "No, Mom. I'm leaving because of me." The room fell silent. Finally she whispered, "I didn't realize you felt this deeply." I nodded. I didn't either. Until everything happened. She looked down then said softly, "I'm sorry, Emma." "I know," I whispered. "And I forgive you. But it's time for me to start my own life." The next weekend I packed my bag. Not many things. Just clothes, books, a few memories. And Milo's blanket. And his ball. And every small piece of love that kept me going. When I walked out of the house with Milo on a leash beside me, my heart felt light and sad at the same time. But Milo looked up at me, tail wagging as if saying, "This is our new beginning." And it was. Our new home wasn't big. Or fancy. Or perfect. But it was ours. A place where no one could take him away. A place where my voice mattered. A place where love wasn't ignored or misunderstood. That night, Milo curled beside me on our new bed. He sighed softly, relaxed, peaceful. I smiled and whispered, "We're safe now, both of us." And for the first time in a long time, I believed it.